Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so here we are with the fig tree again. It's raining here in New Jersey. It's starting to come to where I want. I've got all that extra growth that was growing out horizontally to the right, done and gone. I've used those. I've given a couple away that had roots. I've planted a few more that I had, so I'll show you that in a second too. So now I'm really just making the decision of what to do with these two. This guy right here, he's connected to my main base of tree and limbs there. The other main section of trees and limb base are over here. So it is almost like two separate systems, but they're probably all one and the same. But this guy, he's connected down here, and he looks like he roots all the way over to this section here. But I think I'm gonna pop him out and get the nice set of roots and whatnot, and maybe give this one away to somebody as well, or pop it in a planter, save it for somebody for when the spring comes. This one I don't want to cut back, but I might cut some of the stuff here so that it can learn to grow back upward, and I'm going to try and maybe get something to hold it back a little bit to let it grow upward. This guy over here, he's going to come out. He's doing a little in between crisscrossing, but he's not going to get much light. And then the rest of the other guys are just going to get cut up and pruned. This one for sure is going to be one of the ones that come out. He's about 2 feet away from each root system, but doesn't get much sunlight on this side of the tree. So those are really the only 3 branches I'm dealing with, that I'm left with. And then I'm going to get in the middle. There's a lot of suckers and new growth in there, so I need some help from the comment section. Let me know how much of these do I keep with all these suckers. There's probably about like 30, 40 new growth. Some of them are tiny, some are a little bit taller than the others, some are about a foot, some are 2 feet. But they're definitely suckers and new growth. I know they'll take a lot of energy away from the production of the tree if I leave too many of them, but I also want to make sure I'm setting myself up for new growth over the next couple of years as well, to supplement for bigger limbs that I might end up taking out. So hit me up in the comment sections, let me know what you guys think about the suckers and the production, and how many I should take out, if I should get rid of all of them. Some of them just keep the certain ones that are like long and 2 feet like that. Some of them are a little bit thicker from like a year ago or so. So some of those I might keep. But yeah, just let me know. So as we've gotten through all this, I just want to show you that from all the stuff that's come out here, I've given 2 away that had roots. People wanted them. And then I've been able to transplant 3 more into the ground here. So here's one. I did that last week. This one was from last week. And then today, I had this massive one that's about 2 feet of roots, really big, double limb connected. So have it cut, ready to go. It's in the ground here. Raining today, so it was even a nicer plus. I don't have to really water them today. But yeah, so this is kind of where the figs lie. I have 2 more planted on the other side of the yard, so I'll go show you those, along with some hidden ones in the ground that were just part of nubs, but they have big root systems. So hopefully those root systems take on. But here we are. Here's the rest of my yard. So here's my gala apple tree, my other gala apple tree. They're pruned, ready to go. These 2 ridiculous black walnut trees that are about 25, 30 feet tall need to come down. I know I've been saying it for a while. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to cut them down. I'm going to use that wood. I've asked if anybody wanted them. Nobody's wanted them, so they're coming down. They're going to be fire pit wood. But they're also taking away potential spots for where I could put new apple trees, and they're also taking away sunlight from my apple trees here. So yeah, so we'll head on over here. This was a deadish older pecan tree, so I'm going to pop this guy out, and then hopefully if there's another big rooted fig system, I'm going to pop it in there, and then that would be a nice little home for, say, the next fig tree that I would like to grow. And I might just not have these all about. I might just give those away. And here's our blueberries. So there's 2 here, another one there. I'm probably going to get a couple more from Stark Brothers and put them over here. So I want to have at least 4 or 5 blueberry bushes. And I'm probably going to get a couple strawberry bushes for this side or that side of the blueberries. Here is my nectarine tree. Didn't do so well this year, did fantastic the year before. So we did a deep pruning on you to see like what will happen. Cleaned up parts of the wood that were having sap issues and such like that. So I'm hoping everything works out. We shall see. I might get another reachable tree from Stark Brothers, maybe a peach or something to go with it, so that I can plant it here and keep it next to that one for better production. And then on this side of the yard, the poor guys, the Fuji apples, they're up here. This one always gives me a ton of fruit, but my friend the squirrel that lives in this big tree used to keep coming over to this when it was about 20 feet tall, so I've done a good pruning on this one, so he's gonna have to work for it next year if he wants more apples, but I'll share. And then the other one is pretty much here, and this one's kind of normal height. This one's about 8 feet. Doesn't grow too much because it's in this corner with lots of tree cover and such like that, so in the summer it's pretty shaded. So this tree and this tree I was supposed to move in November, never got around to it, so in the early spring they will be transplanted over to next to the other apple trees. So before we go, just want to show you a couple things. I've taken some of the cuttings that I've had from this fig tree that have about maybe 10 inches or so of nice deep roots, but they're just the nub, or they have like a little piece. So I've planted them in random spots of the yard. I just got to remember where they are though. But here's one, the big nub, he's here, but he has a nice root system that's gone down about 1.5 feet. And I have one little guy who's popped out from over there. So at least I know this one is for sure taking to the ground and doing good. So we're gonna head on over to the other side of the yard, and I'm gonna show you real quick the other 2 figs that are planted and the other little hidden ones. As we're walking it out to the yard, here's one of the other ones that I've planted. It's in there, random spot, kind of right off the patio here where the fire pit and stuff is. But it's been taking. It's only been in there for about a week, so, but it's got plenty of water, plenty of moisture. It's in a nice little area, so hopefully it keeps rooting. It does its thing. And then over to this corner of the yard. This corner of the yard is special, so I'll explain why in a second. So here's one of the rooted figs. We did this, me and my daughter. We did this last week. Ironically, it was still raining then too. And then I have another one right here in this corner of the yard. And this one has a nice, really nice root system, similar to the big one on the other side of the yard that we just walked past. And then over here in between, I had probably a nice 2.5 foot root system, 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep, but it was just nubs and it just had the one stem sticking out. So I planted that just here randomly in the middle just to kind of see what will happen. I want to give it a little bit more room than the rest of these and see what's going on. So what's going to happen in this part of the yard in the spring is we're going to get the vegetables and stuff going. So we're going to get I got a couple planter beds I got to put together. I got a couple that I'm getting from a couple locations. So I'm going to try and get one up against here specifically for fall vegetables. And then we're going to get one against that fence. And then hopefully another one here in the middle. So I kind of want to make it like 3 rows, but like the long 8-foot ones. And then opposite this fence, somewhere in front of where I just planted these figs. So between here and here, I'm going to do a nice long planter bed myself. So I'm going to build that one. I'm not going to buy it or like the other ones I'm getting. I'm going to build that one, and then I'm going to follow what our buddy and everybody's favorite gardening guy from New Jersey, James Prigioni, keeps doing. And he builds the hoop houses on top of them. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to follow what he's done and build a hoop house on what's out here and have a greenhouse section so that I can continuously grow things. So that's going to be the goal and the plan. And hopefully when we get to the spring, I have all of that to show you. But yeah, I'm excited. A lot of vegetables. I want to make sure that we're sustainable. And there's even talks about some chickens. So we might venture down that path, not this year, but maybe next year. But yeah, just wanted to give everybody an update on all these figs and the fig trees. And again, I have so many cuttings, tip cuttings, regular stalk cuttings. I mean, I have more from these branches. I'm going to be cutting more off here. I have a ton. I'm storing them properly. A lot of them are in the fridge, wrapped up nicely. I have a lot that are in soil and in pots upstairs. So looking to make sure I have a ton of those. Maybe I can start rooting some of those, get a couple of those going, give those away. But if anybody wants them, message me in the comment section. If you're not too far away, if you're in Monmouth County, New Jersey, more than happy to give you a bunch of them. If you're a little bit further away and you want them, if you don't care about getting them shipped to you or something like that, let me know. I'll let you know what the shipping is and go from there. Just really wanted to share what I've got. So take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk again soon. Figs out.